a 30-watt fibre laser. Okay, so setting up the fibre laser to the EasyCAD program. Now, EasyCAD is specifically designed to operate fibre lasers. There are certain controls in the program that are only for fibre lasers, such as hatch and frequency. There's the normal settings in there too, power and speed. Now, hatch and frequency, they're a little bit more complex, but we'll come to that. So I do notice that people are having a little bit of a problem with EasyCAD and their machine. There's just a couple of things you need to understand about it. And the first thing is that when you fire the program up, it may come up that it's in a demo stage, or another thing might pop up and it may say that that it requires a dongle or cannot find dongle, or in this case you'll see that it's up, but these little boxes down here, which is the command for the laser to fire, or for the laser pointer to operate, are greyed out and you can't do a thing. The reason behind that is the program is proprietary to the circuit board that controls the laser. Okay, and that's another reason why there's 3 switches on the top. Okay, so if you want the program to operate and be able to work on it, all you have to do is turn the master switch on, okay, and the circuit board switch. You don't have to have the laser generator running itself, and you just heard the computer acknowledge that, oh, it sees a device connected to it, and all of a sudden the program becomes alive. So the circuit board inside the fibre laser generator, or operating the fibre laser generator inside there, is the dongle. Okay, it works hand in hand, so it gives authority to use, the circuit board gives the authority to use the CAD program, the EasyCAD program. So that I have noticed a lot of people are having difficulty with that. So that will be what your problem is when you initially fire up. You must be connected to that board inside the laser, and it must be live, must be turned on, okay? So that's the first thing to do. When you load this up, it loads up like any normal program. It's zipped, so you have to make sure that it's entirely unzipped, then put it into your computer. It normally comes with instructions on how to do that. However, the little pamphlet that I had only describes how to put it into Windows 7. This is a Windows 10 computer, 64-bit. It does have 64-bit and 32-bit drivers, so you haven't got to worry about that. But it's just slightly different putting it into Windows 10, and I thought I had the camera turned on when I put it in, but I didn't. And you know, I don't really want to go mucking things up by trying to, you know, sort of reload it in over top of this one. So take it from me, unzip it, load it in, and it's fine. But there again, as you are loading this in, needs to be connected to the fibre laser via a USB cable, and that needs to be switched on. It's not totally switched on, it's just main switch on, and the master circuit board inside is switched on. The laser generator isn't switched on. Okay, you'll soon know, because it has quite powerful powerful fans cooling it. So we don't want those droning away in the background. So let's get into setting this program up for this lens. Now it is a similar process to setting up Mach 3 or Mach 4 for a brand new CNC router or mill. Okay, there are certain differences in this because you're dealing with optics. All right, and we'll get into it right now. Okay, so this is the raw program, and you can only deal with millimeters. Okay, it does not translate to inches. So we're going to come up here now to the toolbox, and we're going to start up at the top here, general. Okay, I like to set my space in for the desktop of these grids. At the moment it's 10 millimeters. I like it to be 2.5 millimeters, and we're going to OK that. So it's a much finer grid. So we're going to go back into tools. We'll adjust one thing at a time. Show grid. There again, if you don't want a grid at all, you can take it off there and the grid goes. So we like a grid. And back into tools again. Okay, color. You can choose different colors of the lines if you wish. I leave it as standard. It's quite pleasing to the eye, so I'm fine with that. Okay, here we go, the important one. Now, the size of the lens that I have in the machine at the moment is not 110 by 110, it's 200. So we're going to alter that. 200 by 200. So our work area on the CAD system needs to match our field of view on our lens, which is 200 by 200. Just keep an eye on this figure, and oh dear, there's our crosshairs here. Well, of course, now we have to alter the center of our work area, which is this figure here. So it's actually minus 100 and minus 100 because it's offset from the center. We'll OK that, and it jumps back into the center. So all we did was take this corner here, alright, so it's minus, minus, we just dropped it down to here to make that the center. So that's relatively easy. And I don't think there's anything else really. Auto save, you can alter this if you wish. I think 10 minutes is a fairly normal sort of figure, and I've got it enabled. Move and rotation. This is when you choose to move an object on the screen by the arrow keys. Well, this is where you come to alter the time, the nudge, then how far you move it. If you press just the arrow keys, it'll move 1 millimeter per second. But if you hold down the shift key and then press one of the arrows, it will move by 10 millimeters per second. And same with rotation, it'll go 15 degrees at a time. You can alter these figures to suit yourself. Don't have to worry about that one. oh, that one, that language. If you need to alter your language of the program, this is where you come to do that. So we're going to OK and come out. Now, stick with me, guys, because now it gets quite a bit involved with optics. So now we come down to here and we open this dialog box up. So here it's set for 110 millimeter field of view. So we need to alter this to 200. 200. Now, if when you are running your laser, things come out, you know, sort of 90 degrees out or mirror imaged, it just means that you alter the Galvo 1 and 2. This is actually altering which head is Y and which is X in the Galvos. So you've got Galvo 1 and 2. So you're indicating, well, which Galvo, which mirror is operating in the X. Now I'm going to leave this because I don't know which one it's which one it is. It should be correct. Okay, now these here, this is where it gets a little complicated. This is for, shall we say, tuning the lens and mirrors in. Now, you will find when you put in, you know, completely new lens into your fibre laser that the sides could be bowed out or bowed in. It could be, you know, sort of slightly off, you know. So this is where we alter that situation. So I'm going to leave this at the moment because I don't exactly know what it's got, you know, what the alterations need to be. At the moment, this is a standard set thing. And if there's an offset required in the X and Y, this is where we come to do that. Here we go. This now needs to be set to our laser. At the moment it's just set to 20 hertz, 20 kilohertz rather. Now this particular laser maximum setting is 80 hertz. So consult with the information from your seller about filling this in, but if you've got a standard fibre laser, it shouldn't be any more than 80 kilohertz. Now this is the frequency, maximum frequency of your fibre laser. If it's a MOPA laser, it can go up to 600, 700, 800 kilohertz. But this is a standard industrial fibre laser and this is all we require. That's all we need to do in that one. Of course, we don't have to touch anything there. We don't have to touch anything there. Oh, red dot. We'll come back and revisit this. This is where we come in to alter the position of the red marker if it's slightly off from what it's actually cutting. This is where you put offsets in. So we're going to OK that. No need to do anything else here. This is just information about the board. OK. So the next thing to do is to come over here to the square drawing tool, and we're going to draw a square the same size as our work area. It's actually snapped there, and over here you can see that it is 200 by 200, and it tells you the position of the center point that it is, so that's fine. It's already, shall we say, it's already highlighted. Okay, but if it wasn't highlighted, you can go and choose the arrow there or the cursor and highlight it, because it'll only show up or mark if it's highlighted on the screen. So the next thing we're going to do is fire the laser up. Okay, so you can see there's the red dot there. It's just a marker. And I've got a nice white piece of board here. It is just hardboard, and one side of it is white, so I'm just going to put it onto there. I do know that the people do say that you cannot mark wood or anything like that with these machines, but oh yes, you can. So we're going to use this now to find out what the shape of our 200mm square is. And you can already see that it's slightly off, isn't it? I'm going to have to take you have to move this slightly back, because I don't want to mark my plate down here. How can I do that? I know, lift that up slightly. Move this over. And you can see at this very early stage, let me get a ruler. I hope the camera's picking that up. So if I put a ruler here, okay, that's supposed to be 200mm, and it's 255mm, and that again is 235, and you'll also see that it's bowing out quite about 5mm this way, bowing in. So I'm now going to go back to that dialog box now and try and correct this a little. In actual fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a burn. So I'm going to switch the red dot off, and let me see, I'll use the default. I'll fetch you up here to the screen to show you this. Okay, you may or may not be able to see us grayed out. I'm just going to stop the red pointer a minute. So you'll see here that it's got a speed of 500mm per second, power of 50%, at a frequency of 20. I'll explain frequency and the relationship of it in further videos, but I'm just going to mark this now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on a continuous mark. In other words, the laser will keep going around and burning this square until I actually switch it off. So I'm going to take you down now here, and I'm going to switch the Fibre Laser on to burn that mark. So to burn that mark, we now have to switch the laser on. And you can hear the fans now running, and I'm going to burn that mark. Okay, you can see the smoke rising a bit there, I think. So I've got a mark there now. I don't know whether the camera's going to pick this up. Can you detect a very faint line there? Because this laser is very, very, shall we say, very, very thin. Much, much thinner groove then than the CO2 laser. How about if I move the camera a little bit more this way? I might be able to get it. And what I'll do is I'll turn the contrast up when I hopefully you're picking that up. Hopefully you're picking that up. So now we can accurately measure that if I can get my rule. So we have 235 and 255. Okay, now then, I'm going to show you what to do